As we await to hear from the World Health Organization on the coronavirus, I want to talk about how to keep ourselves protected with family physician and associate professor at the Rowan School of Osteopathic Medicine, Dr. Jen Caudle. Dr. Caudle, thanks for joining us.
Of course. Good to see you.
You know, I had a guest earlier who said he went to CVS and he ran out of mask. You know, the facial mask. I know most doctors are saying, hey, we don't need them right now. But what do we need? Because before we even start, I want to show you the cover of today's USA Today. And, you know, we've been reporting on this coronavirus. What it says is essentially, is America prepared for this? Is America ready? Are we ready?
Well, that's a good question. I think we're doing a good job of getting ready. And I think we're doing a good job of sort of being really up to the minute and staying really close, boots to the ground in terms of the World Health Organization, the CDC, our government agencies, about really staying on top of this. As a family physician who's been following the press conferences and reading all the different reports and things like that, you know, I feel like we are getting ready. And, you know, I think at this point that's what we can hope for. To your point about the masks in places like CVS and people buying masks on Amazon and things like that, Charles, you're right that physicians are not recommending it, but it's not just us physicians. It's actually the World Health Organization and CDC. They did do a press conference about 12:30 p.m. Eastern time earlier today to give us the update, which I know we'll talk probably more about numbers in a bit. But one of the things that they said is that, yes, even though there is still great risk for coronavirus in many parts of the world, in the United States right now, our risk is still considered to be low, and it is not recommended that we go out and buy masks at this point. To your point, what do? We need to wash our hands. We need to make sure we're sneezing and coughing into our sleeve, into a tissue, not on our hands where we can spread it. We need to stay home if we're sick. We need to get the flu shot, not because the flu shot's going to protect against coronavirus, but because it's important for us to stay well in general. We need to practice sort of good common sense hygiene practices.
There's a piece in The Lancet that zeroes in on this market in China where this thing began. And there were apparently 99 people who were exposed. Of that, 57% are in the hospital, 31% were discharged, and 11% died. Just the idea, though, that 99 people, you know, maybe initially with this coronavirus, and now it's in more than half a dozen countries, 6 now confirmed cases in the United States. That's kind of worrisome. That's kind of scary that something could spread that quickly around the world.
You know, it really is. And that's why I felt from the beginning that this is absolutely important to talk about. There's a lot of factors that go into how fast and how quickly a virus or a bacteria or something infectious will spread. Certainly how inherently contagious the bug is, which, by the way, the CDC and World Health Organization, at least the CDC, still says that they're still looking at data and trying to really ascertain how contagious this is. But we do think that that coronavirus is not at least as contagious as SARS was. But the other thing you have to keep in mind is that we're looking at a place like China, which is so populated, right? So there's all these different variables, not just the actual bug, but where it starts and how quickly things can sort of travel like wildfire given the right circumstances and situations.
Really appreciate your wisdom and the help there, because these are questions that people are asking, you know, in real time. Dr. Caudle, always appreciate your time.